I have a partner, and she owns a house, or owned a house, I should say, in Broomfield. We had a renter. We left the country. I went to practice medicine in New Zealand for 2.5 years. There were some issues with the renter. We got behind, and we tried from New Zealand talking to the bank, came back. Every time we talked to Wells Fargo, there was a different person to talk to. She was advised to not pay her rent or not pay her mortgage for 3 months, and she would be in a certain program by somebody, and that it would work out. Well, she followed their advice. Every time she spoke to them, she got a different person. There was nobody to talk to. We got back, and they foreclosed on her house.
I qualified for mortgage reclassification, restructuring, but Wells Fargo denied me. Asked me why. They qualified me 3 times. Walking down 16th Street Mall, people kept doing that. Why? And pretty soon I felt like the Pied Piper, and everybody's telling stories about how they got screwed.
Not be talking about who's getting paid and how much it costs. It should be talking about access to healthy food, exercise, elimination of things in our food that kill us. Harvard Medical School has done studies for 20 years showing that 80 to 90% of diseases in the American people are simply from food and lack of exercise. We're barking up the wrong tree.
Yep.
We're just moving the money from one corporate place to another place.
One thing that I want to talk about is that we are the victims of a very carefully planned class war that started at the time of Ronald Reagan and is being led by the wealthy. And the purpose of the war is to get this whole country screwed around so it's the way they want it. And what they've done is to fight and take the teeth out of the labor unions, get rid of regulations that restrict them, privatize Medicare if they can, and pack the Supreme Court so that they can get the things they want.
There's only one loophole in the system they've created. This is what I've got to say. There's only one loophole. The independent candidate. The politicians are on both sides.
Right. Yep,
both
that's
sides.
right. That's right.
The politicians that run the government are Republicans and Democrats.
That's right.
With my view,
yes.
This is my view. I'm sorry, I'll have to view. I have a verse here, but I'll leave it.
They bought the whole Congress.
Independent. The loophole is independent candidate. We have to get an independent candidate that represents we, the people. Not a Republican, not a Democrat. They're all rich politicians. They're all in this together. They have created this government for them.
Yes.
It does for them. It's for them. The corporations buy them or give them money. It's all interrelated, just like everyone who said here. It's all interrelated. The loophole in the system is the independent candidate.
Lady at the floor. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Jackie.
I am passionate about 3 things. We must have publicly financed elections.
Yes.
Not only do we have to get publicly financed elections, we've got to change the election period. We have lived in Australia for the last 10 years for 2 months in the winter, where my husband has been a visiting scholar. The election period there is 4 weeks. My friends in the UK tell me their election campaigning is restricted to 5 weeks. My friends in Canada tell me 6 weeks. And what are we looking at? Another damn year of multi-millions spent on these ads that make us vomit nearly.
It's continual.
Yes, it's continual. The number 2 thing, my friends in Australia, Canada, Norway, Sweden, all over the world, women in their parliaments. What percentage of Congress in the United States is female?
a bare 17 and slipping. Canada, 36%. The Scandinavian countries closer to 50. We are 78th in the world in the number of women representing us. Would women have allowed us to go into 2 wars? No! Would women allow the very lifeblood to be sucked out of Medicaid and Medicaid care the way it has been?
No! More education?
Absolutely.
No.
And that's right. So I could be asking that would they have allowed right on down. We're going to get publicly financed elections. We're going to get gender equity in Congress. Maybe we can work from that 78th percent. And oh, I cringe every time I hear a politician pump himself on the chest and say, we're the greatest nation in the world. I say bullshit! Bullshit to greatness when we have a quarter of our children in poverty. Bullshit when I see a gentleman walking past with a backpack and a little sign that says hobo hungry. I mean, bullshit all over the place.